do I handle an insurance claim in roofing? How is it different from retail?
I treat it just like retail, so it doesn't really matter to me. I have never wrote an Xactimate. I have never ordered an Xactimate. I do not line item my quotes, and we sell work to insurance companies. We are not a storm company, so don't get that mistaken. I mean, it's not that we're out looking for that work, but if our phone rings and they're going through their insurance company to pay for this project, we don't care, but we're just not going to bend the knee to the insurance company because we really don't give a shit. So if they want to hire us, which that's their right, even through their insurance company, they have the right to choose who they hire. Um, but we are not obligated to do anything. We have our process. That's the process for everybody that calls, and we don't make exceptions. We get homeowners that want an itemized quote. It's X if you do the project, it's zero if you don't. That's the items. It's real simple. I mean, we're not breaking it down because it's just too often that person wants to. Well, I've got 3 bundles of shingles in my garage. I could take that off the bill for $100, and I have some old drip edge laying around. I could put that on for you too. No, we do it all, and it's one price, or we do zero of it and a zero. It's really, really simple, and we don't care if it's insurance, retail, whatever. We treat it as retail. Residential retail is how we sell every project.
I like that. So you never tried to like match what's on the Xactimate or anything like that?
Don't give a shit what that Xactimate says. Honest to God, I could care less. We don't even ask for them. You can throw that in the trash. If we're doing it, this is what we're paying or what we're charging.
Yeah.
And
So
and we're not trying to be rude or hard to deal with. That's not at all the point. That we want to help that customer get the roof. Don't get me wrong. We want to help our people. We want to help our customers. But we're not going to completely change our business model to appease an insurance adjuster. It's not happening. You're going to try to cut my throat and cut my throat and cut my throat and take food off my table. I'm not interested. I'm going to sell this job how I sell every other job. And we're going to make the margins we need to make to have a successful roofing business. Because if I follow your journey, I'm going out of business and I can't warranty the jobs that I've done for my customers. So that's how we do it. I know there's people who have success other ways. It's just not for us. That's how we sell insurance.
yeah, that makes sense. I've so John's the same way, Peach Tit Roofing. But we have customers that are trying to match the Xactimate, are trying to do line items for everything. Just ran into this the other day. Somebody was trying to completely match the Xactimate, and Xactimate apparently has fractional quantities, which makes no sense to me. Like, how can you have a fraction of a bundle? Like, you can't buy fractions of bundles from your supplier. So why would that be on the Xactimate? But apparently it is. So he was trying to match that, and I'm like, well, what we're generating is an order for your supplier, and the supplier wants to have a whole number of what you want from that quantity. So yeah, I'd like, we're never going to be able to do fractional quantities. But like we did implement a system for recently in ProLine where you can override the price, the line item price. So like, whereas before it was only what was calculated from the line items, you can override that now and just say like it's X, so you can match the Xactimate like that. But I think one of the things I'm trying to understand is what is the reason why some contractors are trying to match the Xactimate? Is it just to try to like get a little bit extra margin? What's the advantages there?
I don't think there's an advantage. I think it's more so they want to win the job and they need to work, and that's kind of how they're getting, because if essentially if they match the Xactimate, the insurance agent's cutting the check. That stops any back and forth. There's no more um there's no more arguing about it. It's done. You have accepted their terms, and that's what you're going to do the project for. But see, I know this much about insurance, and I mean it's this much. So don't get too carried away with me. But I do know that that can all be negotiated. If they're telling you that they're going to pay for a 3/4 of a box of nails and a half a bundle of shingles, it's not, that's not fair. And there's no way that that legally is right. All you have to do is take the minute and say, hey, this Xactimate looks pretty good, but there's 3 line items on here that are a fractional item that nowhere in the world can be bought in a fraction of. You got to get round this up to the next whole number. And let me tell you something. If there's an insurance adjuster that won't do that, you need to go to the desk adjuster or go to the next guy or go to the manager, because that's crazy. But yeah, the one other thing that I'll say that with Xactimates, there's just too much crap. There's too much you got to look at. We had a storm here about a year ago to the day almost, and we weren't chasing the insurance work, but our phone was ringing off the hook just because of our local outreach, and all these, we had this, it was one company, and everybody knows who they are, the worst insurance company in the freaking country. And they kept, so I'm in this piece of Ohio, up in this pocket of Ohio where property value's pretty decent. He was using the zip code for Southern West Virginia, where property value is significantly less, as how he was bidding his Xactimates. So he just happened to be on like 5 or 6 different jobs that we were quoting as the adjuster. And he starts sending us these Xactimates, and come to find out, we're like, why in the hell are we so much higher? Like, it was significant, like 15%. And everywhere else, we were pretty close to being in line. It was close enough that homeowners were hiring us and just paying the extra couple $100 or sticking the extra couple $100 in their pocket, right? Like, we were right there, pit for pat. This one, we just wasn't even close. We finally really read into the Xactimate. He's using like a Beckley, West Virginia zip code for projects up in Southeast Ohio. And as soon as we called him out. He changed the zip code. We were under his bid. His Xactimate went up 15%, just changing. So you really got to pay attention. And those guys are so snaky, dude. They're such a, it's their job. It's what they're told to do. But
yeah, their job is to not pay out.
Their job is to cut as much funding to their customers as possible. That's literally what they're hired to do. And hey, they're getting paid to do it. So unfortunately, it's a bad position for them. But you got to be the hero to show up at the end of the day and make sure that customer gets taken care of.
Yeah. So it seems like maybe, especially for newer like roofing contractors just getting into the space, maybe they're doing their first insurance job. It's like, don't assume that the insurance company knows what they're talking about, or that they're even giving you a fair number up front. Like, it's not, whatever they're sending you is not necessarily what you have to match or accept.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You need to charge what you need to charge for the job for it to make sense, and let the homeowner deal with the insurance company. Or I guess there's the whole like contingency thing, which you don't do, but maybe in some markets it's necessary to kind of get into that and kind of negotiate on behalf of the homeowner. But